Family as an institution is very, very important. The quality of the family also reflects the type of a country which you are going to have. Now, today, I want us to look at the effects or the type of behavior which we are going to manifest when we grow up if we are reared or brought up in dysfunctional families. What are dysfunctional families? Dysfunctional families are those families where things are not stable. There is constant fighting, constant quarreling, and the whole environment is very, very cruel and very unwelcoming. You find where fathers and mothers are fighting, they are likely to affect the emotional and even physical growth of the children. So what am I trying to say? The experience we get in such dysfunctional families is going to manifest itself even when we grow up. So now, how can you be able to know as somebody who has been brought up in a dysfunctional family by the type of behavior one displays? One, a person who has been brought up in a family which is dysfunctional, emotionally and even physically, is likely to be hypervigilance. Hypervigilance is being very, very keen and being very alert. You are very keen scanning the environment. Why do you scan the environment? You scan the environment for danger. So when you are a small kid and your father and your mother, they were always fighting, you are likely to be very, very keen on the change of the environment. You are going to be very keen on the tone of the voice, the shifts in the mood, and even the body behavior. The body changes, the body language for that matter. So you are very keen. It's a survival mechanism. And so when you grow up, you are not going, even as an adult, to be very, 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 very relaxed in the environment. You are always worried. You always feel that there might be a danger. And because of the survival mechanism which you developed during your childhood, you are likely always to feel very uncomfortable, even when you are with friends whom you don't need to worry. So hypervigilance is a remnant, it's a characteristic of somebody who has been brought up in a dysfunctional family, an environment which was very cruel, which was worrying. And then also, you find that a person who has been brought up in a dysfunctional family, it becomes difficult to maintain and even form relationship. So you find that because of this environment which is cruel, they find that the environment is always confusing. Confusion is just a part of their life. It's a part of their personality. And so you find that these people cannot trust anyone. One, there can be high possibility of keeping people away, fearing that this person may do some harm. And then on the other side, they may be so clinging, so holding to you even as a friend, until you find you don't have any space. They don't give you space. Then life, you find that you are not very comfortable with such a person. So a person who has been brought up in a dysfunctional family is likely to keep people away or get them so strong until he suffocates them emotionally because he or she doesn't want them to move away. Then there is the aspect of perfection. Perfection is an aspect of everyone's life. Everyone would really aspire to do things perfectly. But now, when you grew up in a dysfunctional family, you felt the way to do, you become so perfect, you do this in such a perfect way, by believing that your father and your mother, they may not fight, they may not be shouting, they may not be creating an environment to be hostile. So you think that when you are becoming so perfect in everything, you think that now the environment will be okay. You see, perfection is very okay. Now, when you grow up, because of your childhood, you end up being a perfectionist in your place of work, in your career. You want to be perfect. And then you see, now, you even translate this even on interpersonal relations. So even if you are dating a man or a woman, what happens? You end up being, your standards are very high, the demands are very high, and many times you don't maintain this relationship because many will not be able to cope up with your demands or your view of life or your expectations. And then you find even in the career, even in the place of work, you become so difficult, and to become worse, for example, if you are boss, you have got no social tolerance, and you are always giving commands, and you find even your workers, they feel very uncomfortable when you are around. So it becomes difficult to perform relationships or to maintain relationships because of your perfectionism nature. But you see, perfectionism is a double-edged sword. Perfectionism can lead you to success, or it can lead you to emotional stress and psychological strain, because when you don't meet certain standards in your side, you feel troubled, and you end up having this as a mental health, and this can make you even break down. And not only breaking down, but you find that you use it as a coping mechanism, which you also use when you are a child. Now, then the other point is the issue of boundaries. You know, any relationship is important to have boundaries. You have to define the boundaries. You have to define space so that you don't interfere with the people when you need to give them time to have time for themselves, to have time for their friends, to have time for their families, and even also in their place of work. And so you find that since you did not know about boundaries, the way your social life was defective, you did not know if there is anything like boundaries. And even if they were there, they were just moving targets. They used to be moving. So there was no consistency, and this one created a confusion. So you find that when you grow up, you are more likely to be in a comfort zone, and you find that it will become a problem, because when you don't know boundaries, you can either just let people step on you and you keep quiet, or you just suppress it. Because what was it? It was very difficult for boundaries in your place. So now you just stay like that, and you don't, the issue of boundaries just internalize, so people can annoy you, but you just keep quiet. So many people can even overstep you and your boundaries, and you don't protest. Now, the other aspect is the fear of conflict. You realize as a child, you felt that when your mother or your father tried to say something, probably it created conflict. It created fights or shouting matches. So as you grow up, you felt as if conflict should not be there. But remember, conflict is a part and parcel of human dynamics. You know, people can be having different opinions. People can have different perception. The way you look at the world, other people look at the world differently. And so what am I saying? What I'm saying is that conflict is a part and parcel. Different opinions is a part of the person, but you grew up fearing conflicts. So now, what does this mean? What it means, you are not able even to express what you want or what you don't like, and so you keep quiet, and this behavior stresses you and confuses you, and you feel life becoming hopeless because you can't talk, you can't even express a contrary opinion, and this one become a big problem in your life even when you grew up. Then the other aspect is the aspect of difficulty in expressing emotions, because when you grew up, you are discouraged to express emotions. When you express emotions, you are punished. When, for example, you start crying over something small, you are told crying is not manly. You should not cry. And then you grow up feeling that you should not express emotions, so you suppress your emotions, and then by that, it causes psychological strain, and this one become a big problem even at relationship level. Because you see, emotions is a part of the person. We have to express our feelings. We have to express, even when you are happy, express your joy. When you are sad, express your sadness. Even when you are not happy, express to someone that I am not happy. Please, it's important to express emotions. And then, finally, there is the aspect of responsibility. When you grow up, you find that your parents were very responsible. They were careless. They were drunkards, don't care attitude. So even as a child, for example, you are firstborn, you took the responsibility of taking care of your young siblings. So you are abandoned. You took the adult role at a very early stage. So now, how does this translate when it comes to adult stage? Now, when you grow up, because of the remnant of growing up in a dysfunctional family, you have abandoned yourself. You feel that you are responsible for everyone. You are responsible for your relatives. You are responsible even for your irresponsible siblings. You are going around in the village wanting to find those who are vulnerable. In your place of work, you take everything. You do their work, even extra task. And you don't want to ask for help because of the way you grew up. But you find that it is okay to ask for help. It's also to define tasks. It's important. Don't overburden yourself. Don't be a messiah for everyone. Don't carry the whole world on your shoulders. Just please, if you do that, you are going to experience burnout and psychological stress, which can lead to mental breakdown. Otherwise, thank you very much. It's Mutia Lukwago, your family therapist and a relationship coach. I hope you have understood the consequences of dysfunctional family. Thank you very much. And for those who have subscribed to A Moment with Lukwago, it's a thumb up, and I don't take you for granted. Thank you. Have a great day.